like people are really talking about what Trump had posted on his Truth Social account. A picture or a painting which shows Trump as a healer, but a lot of people are saying that it clearly shows Trump as Jesus. Other people are pushing back and saying, no, this does not depict Trump as Jesus, but a disciple of Jesus that can heal through him. Trump also recently came out and gave a response to this as well.
How's that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as the doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better. As an example, the 11,000, I understand your husband's going through treatment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's going through some very serious cancer treatment, so
yes, sir.
This goes a long way.
Yes, sir, it sure does.
So people are really going back and forth on that. Me personally, I think what he's wearing looks more like the magician on the 2017 Economist magazine cover, a cover we talk about quite often on this channel, which is kind of funny given the fact that the word MAGA means magician in almost every language besides the ones that say it also means sorcerer or witch. But I do want to go ahead and talk about something else that was seen on this portrait. So what's on the left is the original picture that was posted by Nick Adams on his X account back on February 4th, 2026. What you see on the right is what Trump posted on his Truth Social account yesterday. While they both look the same, there is one big difference between the two, and it's this. This was the only thing edited in the entire picture. Why? Why replace this soldier in the front here with an angel that's wearing a very specific crown that's very similar to one worn by the statue of Lucifer? One could make the argument that the statue of Lucifer has 7 points on its crown. This angel has anywhere from 3 to 5, depending on how you look at it. But it's also very similar to a sculpture back in the 19th century at St. Paul's Cathedral. This sculpture is titled The Genius of Evil, which is a sculpture of Lucifer. But this isn't the only time very recently we would see this crown-bearing angel in Trump's artwork. Take, for example, his arch in Washington, D.C. We can see Lucifer the light bearer between either two birds or two fallen angels, who really knows, and right beneath it, one nation under God. So flat out, they're telling you who they worship, but again, the question happens to be, why change that soldier into a crown-bearing angel? There has to be a deeper meaning behind that. This individual on X, Adam Foreman, who leaves a lot of great comments on my posts, he replied to me saying, it looks like Lucifer and the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and honestly, I can definitely see that. There are also those saying that this resembles the Baphomet as well if you look at it a certain way. It could also be the demon Paimon, who's known to wear the three-pointed crown as well. But given the fact that he has this crown-wearing light-bearer angel on top of his arch here, I think this change in this portrait here is to connect what's on top of the arch. What a very weird yet telling change that was made to the original picture, and if they are indeed saying that Trump is depicted as Jesus here, then one could say that the entity coming out of the clouds would represent their God. But this wouldn't be the first time that a president was depicted as a godlike figure. I remember that cover that was released by Newsweek that depicted Obama as a Hindu deity, and the title was God of All Things. There are people that are trying to give this a more positive spin by saying that what this entity is represents a book that was a Reddit book, and the book is supposedly called The Last Pull, and it has to do with a man. And I guess the positive spin that these people are giving is that Trump is the man that defeats the entity, which this entity is supposedly named Baal. But I cannot find any existence of this book whatsoever on the internet. Maybe somebody can help me out and find it and link it to me. Again, supposedly this was a Reddit book, but I can't find any existence of it on Reddit. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. Then the question happens to be, if this book doesn't exist, then why are people saying that it does to try to give this a more positive spin? But moving on, so